Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The search for Elijah Vu is now in its second week.
3-year-old little boy was reported missing in Two Rivers a week ago yesterday. An Amber Alert was issued later that same day. Take a look now at your screen. He's about 3 feet tall, weighs between 35 and 40 pounds, and has brown hair and brown eyes. Elijah also has a birthmark on his left knee. Emily Riley joins us now live in Two Rivers with details on how the community is keeping up the search for Elijah. Emily.
Cami and Bill, you can see behind me an entire street here in Two Rivers glowing in blue lights in support of Elijah Vu and his family. Putting up blue lights is one of the many ways the community is coming together during a difficult time. As the 8th day of searching winds down, people here are still remaining hopeful for the little boy's safe return. Many businesses hanging posters on their windows and bulletin boards, all in hopes of getting the word out to anyone who may know more about Elijah's disappearance.
Two Rivers proud. This is for Elijah. We hope the best for him and his family, and hopefully he is found.
We just want answers. We just hope that whatever the outcome is, the family gets answers and knows what happened.
Two Rivers Police saying in a statement tonight, the search will continue and has expanded to the shoreline and waterways, and we'll keep you updated on any new information. Reporting live in Two Rivers, Emily Riley, Action 2 News.
Emily, thank you. Here, Elijah's picture one more time. The FBI now offering a reward of up to $15,000 for information that could lead to the location of Elijah or the arrest of those involved in his disappearance. Call the phone number you see on your screen if you have any information. That number is 844-267-6648.